Students, this is second video of magnetism and matter. Very important topic. Today we are going to see that is Earth's magnetism. As we know already, Earth have some magnetic effect. If you suspend a magnet freely on the surface of Earth, it always shows or it always rests in the direction of north and south. Why? Because Earth itself have some magnetic field around it. That is the reason when we freely suspend a bar magnet, it always rests or it always shows in the direction of south and north. If we take a magnetic compass, which we use to find the direction, if you place a magnetic compass on the earth in your hand, the magnetic needle always rests in the direction of south and north. So this is all because of earth have some magnetism effect. So this magnetic field at earth change from place to place. Its value approximately will be equal to 0.1 to 0.5 Gauss. What is the value of Gauss? 1 Gauss equal to 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Okay, very small value, 1 Gauss, right? So here we get 1 into 10 power minus 5 Tesla. This is very much small value, right? So yet have this much of small magnitude of magnetic field around it. So what is the reason behind the earth magnetism, behind the magnetic effect of earth? There are two reasons or many reasons. Here we see only two reasons which says why the earth have magnetic effect. The first one sounds like a ghost story. There is some very long bar magnet exist inside the earth. Okay, so it says a long bar magnet, very huge size, which is buried inside the earth or which is exists inside the earth. Because of that bar magnet, earth have magnetic effect. This is one theory. But this theory is failed. Why? Because the temperature inside the earth is very much high. When we go inside the earth, the temperature will be very much high. So in that high temperature, the material will lose its magnetic effect. Any material will lose its magnetic effect. If the temperature is much greater than the Curie temperature, okay, yeah, some amount of temperature, each and every material have certain amount of Curie temperature, above which that material lose its magnetic effect. So definitely this theory is failed. If a magnet is buried inside the earth, then the temperature will be more than Curie temperature. Then that magnet definitely lose its magnetic field. So this theory is failed. No possibility a magnet is exist inside the earth. Okay. Then the second theory is the metallic molten fluids which are present inside the earth, or we can say minerals. So a lot of minerals are available inside the earth, right? Ores, minerals like iron, nickel. So these minerals starts to rotate along with the earth. At high temperature, because it is buried inside the earth, so at high temperature, the atoms which are present inside this material, iron and nickel will starts to emanate, will starts to jump from that metal, which means it gets ionized. So because of movement of charges which are present inside these kinds of materials, what will happen when charge starts to move, when charge starts to flow? It produces current, right? That material produce current. So whenever a material carries current, then automatically it forms a magnetic field around it, right? So a open wire carries a current, carries charges, then it forms a magnetic field around it. So because of these huge amount of materials which are existed inside the earth, it have charges. The charges will start to rotate along with the earth. So because of the motion of charges, we get electric current. Because of that electric current, we get magnetic effect of earth. Okay, so this is proven as well as logical theory. So why other planets can't able to produce the magnetic effect? For example, if you take our moon have less amount of ores or less amount of metals. We can say no metals or less, very less. Okay, very less, very negligible less. So it cannot able to produce magnetic effect. Okay, no magnetic field. If you take any other planet, for example Venus, it have very minimum amount of metals. Okay, less metals. It produce less magnetic field. If you take Jupiter have huge amount of materials and it produce magnetic field more than our Earth. Okay. The next important topic is magnetic field lines of Earth. So consider this is our Earth. Here we have two poles, South Pole and North Pole, right? So this is our central line. Okay, which connects two poles. Around this line, about this axis, our Earth rotate, revolve. Okay, revolve itself. Magnetic field lines are produced in such a way that it forms like this. Okay, so it produces magnetic field lines like this. So now tell me which is South Pole, which is North Pole. It seems like the magnetic field lines are produced from a magnet. So if we place a magnet inside the Earth, an imaginary magnet, just consider an imaginary magnet or magnetic dipole. Okay, so the field lines are produced from North Pole to South Pole. As we know already, magnetic field lines start from north and end with south. So it appears like the magnet consists of a magnet. Okay, the Earth consists of a magnet in this way. Okay, south and north. So we usually say the bottom side of our Earth is South Pole, right? And the upper side is North Pole. Okay, so the center axis which divides or which connects the two poles is known as geographic axis. Okay, so this axis is known as geographic axis. Geographic axis. Clear? Then where will be the magnetic axis? The magnetic axis or magnetic field lines, actually this is wrong depicts. I will show you how it will come. Magnetic field lines are produced like this. Okay, so in a tilted way. This is magnetic field lines or Earth magnetic field lines. So with these field lines, we comes to know that the magnetic axis of the Earth, not a geographical axis. Geographic axis is an axis which we used to do for navigation purpose. If we travel in a ship, then we use a geographic axis to find the true north and true south of the Earth. Okay, we can say this is geographic south and this is geographic north. But magnetic north, magnetic south slightly tilted from the original geographic north and geographic south. So these, if we connect these two field lines, okay, so it will tilted slightly. If you see here, it will tilted. So this North Pole known as magnetic north. Okay, this south is known as magnetic south. Can you get what I am saying? So the central axis which connects geographic north and geographic south is known as geographic axis. Okay, But magnetic field lines falls in like this. Okay, it falls like this, it forms. Then if we connect these two poles, okay, it will slightly tilted from the original axis, from the original geographic axis. So this axis known as magnetic axis. Okay, so there are some difference between these two. Okay, can you able to understand it? Because geographic axis is a straight line, but magnetic axis tilted from the straight line. So it will forms a variation of 11.3 degree. Okay, the angle between true axis or geographic axis and magnetic axis is 11.3 degree. If we go in a ship by using a magnetic compass, that magnetic compass always shows in the direction of magnetic north and magnetic south. Okay, so if we want to go for a north direction, our country is in north direction. Okay, our destination is a north place. We have to travel. If we use a magnetic compass, if we follow the magnetic north, then we will go to this side, right? We will go to 11.3 degree tilted. We cannot able to reach our destination, because our destination is true north. Okay, in our earth map, if you see a earth map, it always have the direction of geographic south and geographic north. All the country which are pointed in the map, okay, which are located in the map, follow the rules of geographic south and geographic north, right? So if you want to go to a place which are in north direction or south direction, if you use a magnetic compass, then you have to calculate this 11.3 degree, or else instead of going this place, you will go to this place. Why? Because our magnetic compass always shows in this direction. Okay, if you want to go to north place, then you will reach here. So what they usually do, they see the magnetic compass, it shows this direction, and they tilt it towards right side about 11.3 degree. Then they can able to go to the geographic north, to their destination. Clear? So kindly understand the difference between these two axes. So magnetic field lines due to Earth resembles of a bar magnet. Why? Because bar magnet also produce these kinds of magnetic field lines, right? It starts from north and ends with south. It seems like a bar magnet. Okay, so here the magnetic field lines starts from geographic magnetic south pole and it ends with magnetic north pole. Okay, kindly remember this. Then geographic axis, which is nothing but the axis which connects two truth pole or two geographic poles. So this axis which connects south pole and north pole of geographic. Okay, then magnetic axis drawn based on the magnetic field lines. So my magnetic field lines starts here and end here. If you connect these 2 points, then I get magnetic axis, right? So magnetic axis tilted from 11.3 degree with the geographic axis. So that pole is known as magnetic north pole and magnetic south pole. Clear? We can say magnetic field lines of Earth start from south pole and end with north pole. Okay.
Is the line joining the geographical north and south poles, or the Earth's axis of rotation. These imaginary circles are called longitudes. Each of these circles, along with the Earth's axis of rotation, can be drawn in one plane. This plane is called the geographic meridian. The geographical meridian, when viewed from top, appears to be a straight line. Similarly, we can obtain the magnetic meridian by drawing a line from the magnetic north and south poles. This magnetic meridian also looks like a straight line when viewed from the top of the chosen point. At any given point, the geographical meridian and the magnetic meridian together look like two intersecting straight lines. The acute angle between these two straight lines is known as declination. It is denoted by the capital letter D. Declination changes from place to place on Earth. Declination is minimal at the equator and goes on increasing with latitude. The second element of the Earth's magnetic field is the angle of dip or inclination. A magnetic compass needle is provided with a pivot such that it can rotate freely about a vertical axis. The needle comes to rest when aligned with the magnetic meridian to indicate the magnetic north. If the needle were also provided with a pivot such that it can rotate freely about a horizontal axis, it would also rotate in the magnetic meridian plane. If the compass is placed in the northern hemisphere, its north end dips down from the horizontal position. If the compass is placed in the southern hemisphere, its south end dips down from the horizontal. The angle through which it dips with respect to the horizontal plane at that point is known as the angle of dip or the inclination, denoted by the capital letter I. In other words, inclination is the angle that the total magnetic field of the Earth, BE, makes with the horizontal surface of the Earth at a given point. The inclination is 0 at the equator and increases as the latitude increases. If this compass is placed atop the magnetic pole, it will come to rest in the vertical position. We can measure the inclination at any given point using a magnetic needle with the horizontal axis and a spirit level.
Magnetic inclination. Just now you saw a video which is about magnetic inclination and declination, right? So magnetic declination, we can say a magnetic needle which free to rotate, magnetic needle which free to rotate in vertical plane. Okay, in vertical plane. So at different places, it rotate different. Okay, magnetic inclination is nothing but angle made by, this is the definition, angle made by the needle with the horizontal surface of Earth. Okay, so if we consider a magnetic or the magnetic needle at a horizontal surface, if you take any horizontal surface, for example, I take here we have equator, right? Earth's equator. Around with the Earth revolves itself. So this is equator. If you consider a point or if you consider a surface on the equator, then we place our magnetic compass here. Okay, the magnetic compass shows like this. So South Pole and North Pole. Okay, it shows like this. So what is the angle between these two? So the angle between these two is 0. So we can say the magnetic inclination at equator, okay, at equator will be 0. If you take the compass near the poles of Earth, then what will happen? if you take this compass here it will shows like this. Okay, or if you consider a surface on the earth, then what is the angle between this magnetic compass and the earth surface? 90 degree, right? Because it forms a right angle. Okay, so it creates a 90 degree, right? So we can say at equator, angle of or magnetic inclination will be 0, but at poles magnetic inclination will be 90 degree. Clear? So here we can write, we denote angle of inclination or magnetic inclination as I. So I equal to 0 at equator, I equal to 90 degree at poles. Clear? If we consider a general point, okay, a point X on the magnetic field lines, that the earth field lines, where we have to calculate the inclination angle. Okay, so we draw a tangent. This is our tangent and this is our earth surface. Okay, this is our earth surface, this is tangent. So it create an angle, right? This is not, I mean this tangent is not parallel with the earth surface at this point. So if we draw a diagram for this, we get somewhat like this. Okay, so this is our vertical component, vertical earth surface. This is our horizontal earth surface, and this is our magnetic compass. Okay, at that point our magnetic compass shows like this, right? So we can say if this is in negative x-axis, this is in negative y-axis, then what will be the resultant value? Resultant value comes like this, right? So our magnetic compass falls on the resultant value. Clear? So here what is angle of inclination or what is magnetic inclination? As I said already, this is horizontal component of earth. Okay, this is horizontal component of earth. The angle between this horizontal component and the magnetic needle, okay, the angle made by the needle with the horizontal surface of earth. So this is horizontal surface of earth, this is magnetic needle. So the angle between these two is known as magnetic inclination. Clear? Okay. So whenever we get theta, it creates two angle. So we can say our horizontal component has cos value. So BE cos I. Okay, this is horizontal component of magnetic field. And for our vertical component of magnetic field or earth field, we get BV equal to BE sin I. Okay, if we divide these two, then we get sin by cos equal to tan, right? So tan I equal to BV by BH. B get cancelled. BV by BH. Clear? For the horizontal component, we take cos theta. Here theta is nothing but inclination angle, I. For vertical component, we have sin. Clear? So this is how inclination angle forms. Okay, if you place a magnetic compass on the horizontal of the earth, so this is horizontal surface of the earth, we have it in our hand. Okay, we have our magnetic compass in our hand. So that magnetic needle never rests in this position. Okay, at certain point, if you take these two poles, then it will rest in this position. In all the other places, the magnetic needle, okay, the magnetic needle starts to rotate vertically. Okay, it will start to oscillate like this. So this is our angle of inclination. See, the angle between magnetic needle and the horizontal earth component is known as angle of inclination. Okay, can you able to visualize this? Our magnetic needle never forms like this, never rest like this. It will oscillate like this. Okay, up and down it will oscillate in vertically. Okay, in vertically. So this is inclination. The next concept is declination. So what is declination? If you see here, I will show you. This is our true north. As I said already, this is our true north. Okay, and this is magnetic north, which is always inclined at an angle of 11.3 degree. So the angle between these two axes simply known as declination. Okay, angle between these two axes is known as declination. I hope you saw that video. You will be able to understand it. Clear? Okay, come to the inclination topic. Here we study BH equal to horizontal component, right? Horizontal component. Then BV vertical component. Okay, so it will varies from place to place. If we take poles, at poles, at poles what is our angle? Angle of inclination. As I said already, at poles we have I equal to 90 degree. Okay, it falls vertically like this. If this is our earth, so the magnetic needle rests like this on the poles. Okay, on the poles. So with the horizontal earth magnetic field, it creates an angle of 90 degree. Right? So substitute I equal to 90 in both the equation. For BH equal to, what is the equation? BE cos I. So instead of I, substitute 90 degree. BH equal to BE cos 90. BH equal to 0. Very, very important. Okay. At poles, horizontal magnetic field value on angle of inclination will be 0. Okay, at poles. Clear? So for vertical component, BE sin I, okay, substitute I equal to 90 degree, then we have BV equal to BE, sin 90 will be 1. So vertical component value will be maximum. Where? At poles. Clear? So at poles, horizontal component value will be 0, vertical component value will be maximum. Then what will happen at the equator? At the equator, if we take a compass at the equator, then what will happen? So this is our horizontal component of earth, right? And this is our needle. So both are parallel with each other. Okay, parallel with each other. So here we get at equator, our I value will be equal to 0. Why? Both are parallel. So our I value will be equal to 0. So substitute I equal to 0 in this equation. If we substitute I equal to 0, then we get BH equal to BE cos 0. Cos 0 value is 1. BH equal to BE. Right? For vertical component, substitute sin 0. Then sin 0 value will be equal to 0. Right? So important point that you have to notice, at equator, horizontal component maximum, vertical component 0, vice versa. Clear? We solve one simple problem. The magnetic meridian, in magnetic meridian at a place, magnetic meridian means a plane on the magnetic axis. In a magnetic axis, we draw one plane. That plane is known as magnetic meridian, which you saw in that video. Okay. So calculate the component of earth magnetic field is 0.26 Gauss and angle of dip is 60 degree, which is means I. Calculate magnetic field of earth. So what are the given data? Here horizontal component of earth magnetic field is 0.26. So we take BH is given 0.26 Gauss. Okay, and angle of dip I is given 60 degree. We have to find, calculate magnetic field of earth. We have to find magnetic field of earth. Right? So if we draw a diagram for this, we get somewhat like this. So this is horizontal component, which is given as 0.26, and our magnetic dip is given. So this angle, this is magnetic compass, and this angle is given as 60 degree. So what we have to find? We have to find BE value. This is our BE, resultant magnetic field. Okay, we have to find this value. So how to find this value? Substitute the formula. BH equal to BE for horizontal component, we have cos I. Okay, so BH is given 0.26. BE we have to find cos I value is 60 degree. So BE equal to 0.26 divided by cos 60. What is the value of cos 60? Cos 60 value is equal to 1 by 2. So BE equal to 0.26 divided by 1 by 2. So divided 2 will comes here into 2. BE equal to 0.52 Gauss. Okay. So calculate magnetic field of Earth. This is magnetic field of Earth. Can we able to find the vertical component? Of course, because we have all the value. What is the formula for vertical component? BV equal to BE sin I. Can we able to find vertical component? Yes, because we already found BE, right? Sin, we know the value of angle 60 degree. So if you substitute all the value, then we will get vertical component. So kindly solve it and post it in group. So next one I will teach here, that is angle of declination. Okay, kindly note it down. I will teach it here. Angle of declination. Okay, angle of declination. So what is angle of declination? As I said you already, this is our geographic axis. Okay, and this is magnetic axis. Okay, so geographic geographic north, we can say SG, and geographic, so this is geographic north, this is geographic south, and this is magnetic north, this is geographic south, and this is magnetic south. Okay, so this is magnetic axis and this is geographic axis. So if we consider a point and we draw a plane, okay, we draw a plane here, a two-dimensional rectangle shape, and we draw another plane here, two-dimensional rectangle shape. So the angle between these two plane is known as angle of declination. Okay, angle of declination at any point. If you consider any point on the magnetic field lines, if you consider a point on the field lines, okay, field lines forms like this. If we consider a point here and we draw a plane, okay, so the angle between these two plane is known as angle of declination. Clear? So it will form like this. I will draw it here. It will form okay, it will form like this. It's like a notebook. If you open your notebook, then you have left hand side you have some pages in your hand, right hand side you have some pages in your hand. So the angle between those two sides known as angle of declination. Clear? So I hope you understand today's class. So with the three elements we can able to find the earth magnetism, that is angle of inclination, angle of declination, then total magnetic field of earth. Clear? So this is all about today's class. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me and watch this video plenty of times. I hope you will understand. Thank you. And one more thing students, kindly note down the definition of declination. The angle between magnetic meridian at a point and the geographic meridian is known as declination. Okay, kindly note it down, this definition. Clear? Thank you.